Thank you so much for being on with us today. We really, really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And what an exciting time too. This that film just keeps getting more and more love, and more people keep discovering it. And gosh, what a beautiful movie! Like you knew this, but now that it's starting to get unleashed to the world, and most people haven't even seen it yet. It's got to be an exciting time just to know that people are what they're getting into, right?
Yeah, I love. First of all, thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me. And yeah, it is an exciting time. I feel like there's always this like tiny pocket of time right before the movie comes out that's really that you never get back. Once it's out, it's it's exciting and fun. But like this is the best part, I think. Like when there's some people are kind of connecting with it, but a lot of people haven't seen it yet, and it's just like there's a nice energy right now that I'm trying to enjoy because I feel like all too often I spend too much time and energy
Mm-hmm.
waiting for the next thing and like, oh, this is gonna be, and never, I'm trying to work against that and be like, oh, this is a special time right before it comes
Or
out.
Well, yeah, and 2020 was such a strange year, a hard year for a lot of people, and we're coming out of it now, and there's a little bit of positivity, a little bit of hope, and a little bit of the togetherness that we were like missing there. So I feel like almost it's the perfect time for a movie like this to come out, right?
I think so. I'm obviously biased, having worked on it, but I feel like this movie is very. I think it's replenishing in a way, and I think there's something special about it that I think that people will connect with in this time. There's something
Mm-hmm.
very human about it, and it's sad. There's sadness, there's pain in it, but there's also like a sort of beating heart and a lot of love underneath it all. So I think that will come through, and I think people will it'll resonate with people. But I'm excited to see how that unfolds. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and this is a journey that I think that composers come along at different times. Sometimes you just get the script, sometimes you get the movie, sometimes you get little scenes here and there. At what point did you get to come in on this?
With this one, I got on early. I got on board at the script stage,
Hmm.
which was a first for me, which I was really grateful for. It was really exciting to write music, just to sort of absorb Isaac's script and absorb his story, and just write a bunch of music from that place emotionally, and giving
Hmm.
it to him before they started shooting was really rewarding because they ended up building it. It ended up being built into the film in a way that I didn't um I never experienced before. Like it had more room to breathe in a way than some other scores that I've done where I'm working to a locked cut.
Hmm.
So I enjoyed it working that way a lot. I'd like to do that again whenever possible.
Yeah. Well, and quarantine time has been a little strange for some people, especially a lot of musicians stuck inside, but also could be a very creative time if you've been writing a lot of music or working on
I
any.
have been, yeah, I have been. I've been working on my record. I'm making a record of songs. Um, I'm working on some film stuff as well, and um, working trying to collaborate with different artists and just take advantage of the opportunity
Hmm.
um, that's sort of in the wake of touring and that like with no live with live shows being off the table for a while, it frees up a lot of time for other creative endeavors. So
Yeah.
trying to
But
take
when it
advantage.
does open up, are we going to see some live stuff from you?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Who knows when that will be, but I can't wait as soon as it's allowed. You know,
Yeah. Well, it looks pretty fun in there. I see you've got the drum set, you've got the amps, you've got a couple of guitars back there. So.
yeah. I got the couch, I got the drums, I got you can't see over here, but my piano and synths are all
Yeah.
over.
Good.
Um, and the screen over here for scoring. I
Good.
I try to keep the this place um inviting for musicians to play and
Hmm.
not so client like not purely like director composer.
Sure.
It's a hybrid space. you know.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, and also, it's got to be kind of neat too, because then you can, watch on the screen. Do you often like watch, once something's done and experience it all like that, or is it just too hard? Like you've seen it too much, or you're too close to it?
Oh no, I watch. I have the screen here. I got a swizzle chair. So
Yeah.
director sits on the couch, and I say, "What'd you think of that?" And we can both see it. That whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's I love having the screen here. Sometimes I scored a picture with the piano here. Sometimes I work here and then put it up there on the big screen.
Hmm.
But it's yeah, no, no complaints over here.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious about your musical journey. Well, first of all, just with the first time you picked up an instrument, but then also when you heard some music in a movie or a TV show and you thought, oh, I want to do that.
Oh yeah, well, it's a good question. I think some of the first ones, well, The Godfather was a like Nina Rota's score for The Godfather was a first, that one, and Danny Elfman's score for Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
Those were like, I can't remember exactly which came first, which one, but one of those two scores were the first time I realized, oh, that's a job. Like somebody wrote music for that movie. They didn't just put that in,
Mhm.
and that was really exciting to me. Just
Yeah.
both incredibly like classic and romantic and melodic scores. Um, those are the first two that like kind of got me over to the piano, figuring out, okay, what are these melodies, and
Hmm.
taught myself how to play some of that stuff. But before that, I was playing drums in a band and playing bass in a band, and growing up with playing in different bands with my friends, and
Hmm.
um, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember that first album that you heard that made you want to play a little bit of rock and roll?
I think it was like a Jimi Hendrix compilation called The Ultimate Experience.
Yeah.
It wasn't RU Experience was his album, but there was like a compilation. It was
The
like
gold cover. Yeah.
the gold
Yeah.
cover
Yeah.
with the military jacket and his hair.
Hmm.
It said The Ultimate Experience, and it had this
Yeah.
sort of like orange sort of like sheen on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first album that like I remember it was like there was like some PBS special about Jimi Hendrix, or it was something on Channel 13
Hmm.
about Jimi Hendrix, and my mom was watching it, and I was like, "Well, who is that?" She's like, "Oh,
Hmm.
you don't know? That's the coolest guy that ever lived. That's Jimi Hendrix or something." And I was like, "Oh, wow, I couldn't get enough." And then I still never really snapped out of it. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. And I know like some musicians will probably hear this and they'll think, "Oh, that's cool. Like I would love to score a movie, or maybe even I just love to just play music and play it again." And you've been able to do both sides. What advice would you give to musicians or aspiring composers?
I would say just like connect with other musicians that you dig their sound, and and um and connect with other filmmakers that you think are talented. And
Mhm.
honestly, that's like, as far as I know, from my experience, that's the way into this industry, is working with somebody before they're famous, and or before they have this big agency in the industry. Just because you believe in their work, and
Mhm.
um, collaborate with as many people as you possibly can that you're inspired by, and then um, hopefully in time something will crack open.
Mhm.
I'd worked with a brilliant director who's named Terrence Nance,
Mhm.
who was doing very well for a very long time, um, but kind of broke through another level a few years ago with a show called Random Acts of Flyness. And I'd worked for him for like since 2012,
Mhm.
on various things like writing music for him. He made a music video for my band, and um, so it was like years and years of working for him. And then Random Acts got picked up by HBO, and then that helped me get in touch with. I moved out to LA around that same time, and then I got put in touch with some people, and that connected me to Plan B. And before I would make these movies that I've scored. So, I think just connect with other great artists and make great stuff and
Yeah,
stay productive, stay creative.
absolutely. And I'm on a show called Drew Pearson Live, and we always ask people their Hail Mary moments, the moments in their life or career where they just had to go for it and it worked out for them. What do you suppose that was for you?
Oh yeah. I would say probably I got the opportunity to demo out for Last Black Man in San Francisco for the first like feature film I'd scored on my own. And I had got a meeting with before I got a meeting, I got the opportunity. They sent some of my music from Random Acts to the director, and they said, well, can you demo out? But meaning, can I write a piece of music for free for a scene to just show what I would do?
Mm-hmm.
And I spent like, I had the weekend to do it, but I think I spent like 26 hours, like 13-hour days in a row, back to back,
Yeah.
like slaving over it. And I spent money like hiring woodwind players to play on it. I like invested in it in a way that like, and I made it seem like I whipped it up in an hour or something, but I really slaved over it for 26 hours or whatever. But I really wanted it. I saw an early cut of the movie. They sent me an early cut of the movie, and there was something in there, even at that early stage, that was so magical that I knew I felt like, oh, I'll die if I don't get this job. So like,
Yeah.
I think that was the moment where I like went all out, went for broke, and
Wow, that's amazing. And
that they ran out of time and they needed a composer and they trusted me with it.
yeah, oh, that's so cool. And of course, after hearing this and other things you've done, I can't wait to see what you do next. Is there a certain score that you're working on now, or is there something coming out that we're going to hear from you?
There are a few things. Yeah, I'm working on something with my brother-in-law now, which is a cool documentary about a horse trainer in Wyoming, a short. And then I'm working on a film with Jesse Eisenberg. Jesse Eisenberg's writing and directing
Mm-hmm.
um, for A24 and Fruit Tree, another production company that I'm really excited about. Still early stages, writing
Yeah.
songs and score for that with Jesse and Finn, and um, yeah, working on all kinds of. I'm working on my own record. That's the main thing I'm doing is
Good.
finishing my record and um, writing more songs and trying to balance those two things out.
Mm-hmm. Good. That's exciting. Well, last thing I want to know about the score, when people hear it, it just really stands out. It's not in the way it just complements the film so well, and but the people have been paying attention to the film and the themes, and depending on where you are in your life and what's happened, I think people get different things out of it. What is it that you want people to get out of the film and the score, for that matter?
I hope that people feel something, that are moved by it, the score and the film sort of in tandem. I hope that people there's an optimism in the film. There's steeped in realism, you know, and sort of the hard knocks of of that life of that family in that time in the
Mm-hmm.
80s. But it's also about childhood memory and about the magic of that period. Like the, the, Jacob and Monica, the parents in the film, um, are struggling so deeply, and the children are just in this sort of wonderland, and they're just and that's Isaac's recollection of his childhood, and there's something that's really powerful about that. And I wanted whatever my small part in the film, the music, to rise to that and honor that and have it ring emotionally. That was
Yeah.
the challenge with this movie.
Well, it certainly did, and it's a great showcase for you and a great showcase for Isaac. It was just, he's got to be a wonderful director to work with, I imagine.
Oh, he's the best. He's the
Yeah.
best. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Well, we're excited to see where this goes during award season. But regardless, beautiful score. So we had to talk to you about it and had to see what else you're working on because I can't wait to hear the rest of the stuff.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, man. Thanks for having me. And,
Of course, thank you so much.
great
And
talking.
yeah, hope to have you on again soon for your solo album.
Anytime.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'd love
Thank
that.
you so much.
I love that.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Take